In the dimly lit communal area of the Prozinuthian mines, the swamps gathered after a long day of labor. As they settled down, one of them, named Grimbach, began to speak, his voice echoing through the cavernous space. "Have you ever heard of the humans?" he asked, his eyes shining with excitement. "They're beings from a planet called Earth, or Dirt, or something like that, and they managed to break free from the Prozinuthian Empire." The other swamps leaned in closer, intrigued by Grimbach's tale. "Tell us more," they urged, eager to learn about this legendary race. Grimbach obliged, recounting stories passed down through generations. "The humans are said to possess incredible strength and a fierce determination to resist oppression," he explained. "Despite being conquered by the Prozinuthians, they eventually rose up and fought back, winning their freedom after years of struggle." As Grimbach's tale unfolded, the swamps listened intently, their imaginations ignited by the idea of a race that had defied their Prozinuthian masters. "But how did they manage to defeat the Prozinuthians?" one of the swamps asked, unable to contain his curiosity. "Some say they outsmarted them. Others believe it was their sheer determination and resilience that led to their victory," Grimbach replied, his voice filled with reverence for the humans' bravery. The conversation continued late into the night, with the swamps sharing their own theories and speculations about the humans and their legendary feats. Despite the skepticism of some, there was an undeniable sense of wonder and admiration for the beings from the distant planet called Earth. And as they finally drifted off to sleep, the tales of the humans lingered in their minds, sparking dreams of freedom and defiance against the Prozinuthian Empire. The following evening, as the swamps gathered once again in the communal area, the topic of conversation inevitably turned back to the humans. "I've been thinking about what Grimbach said yesterday," one of the swamps remarked, his eyes shining with curiosity. "Do you think there's any truth to those stories?" Grimbach nodded thoughtfully, his gaze distant as he considered the question. "It's hard to say for sure," he replied, his voice tinged with uncertainty. "But there's something about the tales of the humans that resonates with me. Perhaps there's more to them than just myths and legends." The other swamps nodded in agreement, their interest piqued by the possibility that the stories of the humans might hold some truth. "Maybe one day we'll find out for ourselves," one of them mused, his voice filled with hope. "Until then, we can continue to share these stories and imagine what life might be like beyond the confines of the Prozinuthian Empire." And so, as the swamps settled in for another night of storytelling, their minds filled with visions of distant worlds and the brave beings who dared to defy their oppressors. As the days went by, the tales of the humans continued to circulate among the swamps, sparking lively discussions and fueling their imaginations. Grimbach found himself increasingly drawn to the stories, fascinated by the idea of a species that had managed to overcome the might of the Prozinuthian Empire. He couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to these stories than mere fantasy. One evening, Grimbach approached his fellow swamps with a determined gleam in his eye. "I've been thinking," he began, his voice filled with conviction. "What if the stories of the humans are more than just myths? What if they're real, and they hold the key to our freedom?" His words sparked a flurry of excitement among the swamps, and soon they were eagerly discussing the possibility of reaching out to the humans for help. "But how would we even find them?" one of them asked, voicing the question that was on everyone's mind. Grimbach paused, his brow furrowed in thought. "I don't know," he admitted, "but I believe that if we work together, we can find a way. We owe it to ourselves to try." And with that, the swamps resolved to embark on a journey to uncover the truth behind the tales of the humans, and perhaps find a glimmer of hope in the darkness of their existence under Prozinuthian rule. Determined to pursue their newfound hope, Grimbok and the other Svamps began to devise a plan to locate the humans. They knew it would be a daunting task, fraught with challenges and dangers, but they refused to be deterred. As they gathered in the dimly lit tunnels of the Prozinuthian mines, they discussed their options, weighing the risks and possibilities. "We'll need to find a way to communicate with other species outside of Prozinuthian space," Grimbok suggested, his voice filled with determination. "Perhaps there are traders or travelers who can help us make contact with the humans." The other Svamps nodded in agreement, their eyes shining with newfound hope. They knew it would be a difficult journey, but they were willing to risk everything for the chance to break free from the chains of their oppressors. With their plan in place, they set out to gather whatever resources and information they could find, determined to take the first steps toward finding the legendary humans and seeking their aid in overthrowing the Prozinuthian Empire. As they ventured deeper into the network of tunnels that sprawled beneath the Prozinuthian mines, Grimbok and his companions encountered various obstacles and challenges. They had to evade Prozinuthian patrols and navigate treacherous terrain filled with hazards and pitfalls. Despite the dangers, their determination never wavered, and they pressed on with unwavering resolve. Along the way, they encountered other oppressed races, fellow miners who shared their desire for freedom. Grimbok and his companions shared their plan with these newfound allies, offering them hope and a chance to join their quest. Together, they formed an underground resistance movement, united in their defiance against their Prozinuthian overlords. As they journeyed deeper into the depths of the mines, Grimbok and his companions encountered ancient relics and artifacts left behind by long-forgotten civilizations. These discoveries fueled their determination, reminding them of the rich history and untapped potential of their own race. With each step forward, they grew more determined to break free from the shackles of oppression and forge their own destiny. But inevitably they were discovered by a Prozinuthian security patrol. Upon their interrogation, Grimbok broke down and asked his companions to be spared any harm. With a heavy heart he pleaded, "Please, masters, only punish me. I was a fool that convinced them that humans could be contacted." The Prozinuthian officer, Yunulk, intrigued by Grimbok, pressed for more information. "Why would you want to contact the humans?" Grimbok replied with embarrassment in his tone. "The legends were fascinating. It was foolish to fall for such hero-worshipping idealism." Yunulk replied with a chuckle. "My grandfather fought the humans in the Sol system during the uprising. They are vicious and ferocious adversaries. The only reason we subdued them for a while was because of our technological superiority, but that had a time limit to it as well. You will not find a human here. They live on the other side of Prozinuthian space." Grimbok raised his head in astonishment as he realized the legends were all true. With excitement, he asked, "Will we be returned to our work camp?" Yunulk answered the question with a stern look. "Your companions will. I am afraid you can never return as you now know too much." Yunulk quickly shot Grimbok in the head with his sidearm, and then ordered his subordinates to take Grimbok's body outside to his companions. Yunulk gave the Svamps a few minutes to grieve over the body of Grimbok before walking outside. Yunulk took a deep breath before addressing them. "This is what happens to those who follow blasphemous stories and lead others to follow these fictional beliefs of some imaginary power greater than the Prozinuthian Empire. I will show all of you compassion by sending you back to your assigned working areas where you can bury your companion. Leave these fantasy stories as they only end up in death. There are no such things as humans. Humans are a myth."